What is up? I'm super excited for these EZAs here, so let's get right into it. The three that I'm going to be talking about in this video are the Super Saiyan GT Goku, Super Saiyan GT Vegeta, and the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta Super EZA, and then of course there's old Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. What exactly is this from? I don't want to say it's Raging Blast necessarily. I don't remember exactly where it's from, but it's the old Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Obviously, we have the new one now, which is this one, but it's the old one, right? So anyways, let's get right into it. I think that unit's going to be pretty good. But if we look at these, let's look at their kits real quick. I'll talk about it, give my honest opinion on them, and we'll go from there, right? So, GT Heroes Goku family is 170. Not a good leader skill, honestly. I wish all these EZA should at least go up to 180 at the minimum, I think. But anyway, sorry. Attack and defense 250%, randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow. Good start, same thing pretty much as higher stats. When attacking with 12 or more key, you get 30% attack, 20% defense, and a chance of performing a crit hit per plus 10% per key sphere obtained. That's pretty good because they're a rainbow orb changer. We're talking 6 orbs pretty much minimum every turn. Maybe you get a little unlucky, but I'd say 6 minimum is a really good number. So you're talking 60% chance to crit at minimum 50, right? And you're getting extra. If you get 5, you get an extra 100% defense, 150% attack, and that is when you're attacking with 12 keys. So it's not going to pop up until you super. So you're not going to actually see how much defense you have, but it's there. It's there, trust me. So with 3 or more key spheres, you're super effective, guaranteed with rainbow orb changing. 5 or more, you launch an additional super. Again, that's pretty locked in my opinion, with rainbow orb changing, and also just the teams he's on. I don't think there's not a lot of orb hungry characters, so these are pretty locked in and easy to get, so super effective and then a guaranteed additional. Plus per GT hero or giant 8 power category ally in the same turn, you get 77% defense and 20% damage reduction per. So you can get 154% defense and 40% damage reduction, which is pretty solid, honestly. And then for one turn, you get an additional super. I don't really, these one turn, what do you call them? One turn, entry turn. They're not usually good, honestly, unless it's like a super hard fight that only has one phase and it starts off super strong. Usually not useful in any way, but sometimes I guess it's useful, okay? And then when you activate the active, you get 350% attack and perform a crit. So that's good. They buffed the active attack power because that was one of the downsides of this unit. So if we look at the condition, it's 4 or more super attacks as you get the active. And the super attack raises attack and defense for one turn. It's 50% lowers defense, okay? So the active was not an active that would hit very hard. Actually, we can go into the wiki right now and see what it does. So the active itself massively raises, and I'm sure that Vegeta's is the same, because we're gonna have to go to the Vegeta later. So yeah, he massively raises and causes ultimate damage. So that's pretty weak. That's a very weak active, in fact. But now you get extra 350% attack and you perform a crit. So that's good. Guaranteed crit. 350% attack, so now it'll hit a little bit harder. Hopefully it's a decent hitting super. It is 4 or more super attacks, but you can theoretically get that turn 1 now because you're guaranteed from getting the 12 key. You have an additional here, so that's 2. You get this one for the first turn, that's 3, and then most likely your hidden potential will pop up, and 50-50 between getting an additional super. So very much, it's way easier to activate it now. Whereas previously, this character didn't have any additionals built in. So you were focused on just purely hidden potential to determine if you're going to get it. And 4 or more super attacks, this is the same condition. I mean, that condition was bad, man. That was like, we're talking, at the very earliest, it would be turn 5 and you'd have to be extremely lucky. Because you need to double super both turns. But now, guaranteed additional supers can get it turn 3 at the earliest, which is nice, okay? Very solid unit. I like this character. Is going to be a good buff for Giant Ape power. Now, the Vegeta, of course. GT Heroes or Vegeta Family, 3 key 170. Basic attack. I'm assuming this unit is going to be pretty similar. 250% attack and defense, randomly change the key spheres from type to rainbow. When attacking with 12 or more key, attack and defense are switched, so attack is 20% and defense is 30%, and damage reduction 3% per key sphere obtained. Again, I'd say 5 is like the minimum that you're going to be getting every turn, at the minimum, so you can look forward to 15% damage reduction at the very least, pretty much every turn. And then 3 key, he guards. Oh, that's good. And then 5 key launches additional super, which is the same. And then per GT hero or Giant Ape power, you get 77% attack this time, a chance to perform a crit plus 30%. When you're running these units, you're most likely going to have 2 of these. So you're going to be getting 140 or 154% attack and 60% crit. And then for 1 turn, same thing, additional super, and then 350%. He doesn't guarantee crit here. But you have a 60% chance. You're going to have a 60% chance. Wish it was guaranteed. Don't know why it's not. But overall, I would assume this unit's going to be stronger defensively. Yeah, because of the guard. I mean, Goku, honestly, Goku's going to have higher damage reduction most of the time. He's mostly going to have 40% damage reduction. And to match that, you would need a lot of orbs. I mean, 12 orbs gets you to 36, so you need 14 orbs to get 42% damage reduction. That's quite a bit. That's quite a bit. You're not going to get 14 orbs consistently, but he does guard. So that's his. And then of course he has the same thing, greatly raise attack and defense for 1 turn, massively lower his defense. Again, this is another solid option. Giant Ape power really needed these guys to be decent and not die. And that's what they got. I mean, they can do some damage. They're not going to get you killed too often. And the Rainbow Orb changing for Giant Ape power. So, again, solid unit. Now, let's go to the Super EZA. This one's interesting because he had 80% damage reduction for 10 turns, I believe. So if we look, hopefully he has some support. Basic attack, or basic effect, key 3, attack and defense 200%. When attacking with 12 or more key, 200% attack, 100% defense. For 10 turns, you get defense plus 150, high chance to crit, and 80% damage reduction. Okay. And then 11 turns, it's 50% damage reduction, and then you're going to lose the defense and the high chance to crit. When the target enemy is stunned, you get 200% attack and guaranteed crit. When there's a superclass enemy, you launch an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming super, and when there's an extreme, it's a guaranteed additional super. Not sure how to feel, honestly. I don't know how high his defense is going to be getting, but 80% damage reduction is pretty good. I mean, if you have him with Super Saiyan 4, which is really the theme now, is all these characters, if they have Super Saiyan 4 Goku, they're going to be pretty good. But if you do have him with Super Saiyan 4 Goku, he's going to have 90% damage reduction. With the level of defense is going to be, it'll look like he'll have good enough defense for 90% damage reduction to be very good. 80%? Not sure. I'll have to see this in game. He could get killed, honestly, if his defense isn't high enough, because you do need to have high defense since he doesn't have guard. Yeah, he doesn't have guard. I'm assuming he's not going to be hitting very hard either, so which is fine. This is a character that needs to just survive hits. He only has 6 links. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Okay, anyways. This character needs to survive hits and not die. That's his role. He doesn't need to do damage. So, full dodge this guy. Honestly, if I'm looking at these builds, these are all full dodge builds. Yeah, I'm full dodging them. And I'm a full dodge them too. I mean, at least to the most that I can. I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of stones to switch it, but if I could, I would give them maximum dodge. And then additional. I wouldn't give them any crit because they have crit. They both have crit built in. 60% here most of the time, and then this guy gets 10% per key tier obtained. He's going to have 50% minimum. So yeah, I wouldn't give these any crit. I would dodge first, additional second, crit third, in that order. Maybe some raw defensive equips, raw defensive support, or raw defensive skill orbs. and then I gave my Vegeta full dodge if I can remember correctly. So overall, very solid units. I think they did a good job. Could they have been better? Yes, but they could also been a lot worse, and they could have been trash, terrible, awful. But they're not. They're very solid options for their teams, especially Giant 8 Power. We just need one more character for Giant 8 Power, man. I'm talking. Sorry, Daima spoilers. I'll give you 3 seconds to skip ahead like 10 seconds. One, two, three. Super Saiyan 4 Goku from Daima. And that's it, that's it. And the Daima spoilers. And then the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta the Int Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta TUR. He's due for an EZA. So Giant 8 Power is looking like it's gonna be very good. So yeah. Again, if this you enjoyed or this helped you out, please leave a like, drop a sub to this channel. Really appreciate it. Helps me out a lot. Thanks for watching. I'm out.